Hello, hello, Facebook family, Facebook Live, Elevate. March 8th, 7 o'clock, Wednesday, and our topic is honesty, episode 81. Episode 81. My wife always gets on me when I show too much skin. I'm like, girl, ain't nobody worried about this old man over here. But anyway, she always gets on me when I show too much skin. So I'm gonna do this just for Shar. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say, okay, you can barely see my neck. How's that? There you go. There you go. All right. So episode 81, Elevate. I'm in the beautiful city of Victoria, and I'm actually starting to like this city. It's just people, man. I like people. So if there's people there, then I'm good. So anyway, well, I feel like I should be handing out brochures or something. But anyway, Elevate. So glad to see you guys on. I'm going to go into the comments section so I can see who's on. Shar is on. Hello from Rosenberg. Real funny, Shar. My parents are on. Tamika's on. It's good to see you. And I just got off the phone whining and crying. I called my wife to whine and crying, and she's like, I'm sleepy. So I called Tamika and started whining and crying, and I feel better now. I had one of those days where it's a good thing I'm not a violent guy. That's all I can say about today. But anyway, Elevate, Facebook Live, episode 81. I can't believe it. We'll be at 100 here pretty soon, but I want to just do the housekeeping. Basically, I'm Curtis Carr. I'm the founder of Elevate. Elevate is an acronym: expectations, leadership, ethics, vision, attitude, temperaments, and effectiveness. And it's a leadership program where we make sure that you get the materials through exercises, examples, through talking, communication, but you get the principles you need to help you get to that next level. I always tell people that we are practitioners. We are not people that just come up with some phrases that rhyme and sound good, but we are people that are out there rubbing shoulders with people. We are making things happen. Shar has she's a business analyst and project manager by profession. She has her own cupcake business, and we know what it's like when people are not in their place. We know what it's like to get people who think they're all that and they're not. We know what it's like to try to make something out of nothing. And I think at the end of the day, if you're successful at what you do, you have to be able to make something out of nothing. All the people I know that fail at what they do, they have never learned how to make something out of nothing. And that should be Facebook Live all by itself. But anyway, here we are. She said, we don't do that. Oh, you want me to take this off? All right, I take this one button off. She said, don't do that. Can you breathe? Actually, I had a hard time breathing, but all right. My wife said it was okay. There you go. I got one button undone. All right. So anyway, Mr. Roundtree, good to see you on. So anyway, I have been in leadership for over 30 years. I've been in leadership positions in numerous stores. Right now, I'm an area vice president for automotive retailer. And good to see you. Good to see you, Ann. Good to see you, Shay. It's good to see you. And so basically, my job is to, some people would say I'm a manager of managers, but I would say that my job is to make sure I like to provide opportunities. I like to help people see things from a different light to help them grow. And basically, this program, I've used it for a long time and just put it aside for a while. And now we're saying, you know what? People pay me to do it. Let's monetize it. I mean, let's just be honest. Let's monetize this thing. So I think that at the end, my dad said, make something out of nothing. Yes. Yeah, that's just the end of it. I was talking to one of my guys, and he was like, you know what, Curtis, I'm trying to train this guy that y'all gave me, but he just don't know how to make something out of nothing. And I said, man, that's exactly what we need, man. So I'm stealing it from him, but it's the truth. You have to have that ability, so, but today, I wanted to skip the jokes because I have a video I want to show to you. I try not to show videos unless they're very impactful and powerful. And this is 7:05. And I personally, I just never want people to get bored with me sitting up here talking every time. So I like to change it up a little bit. We're trying to set up some interviews, but we want to make sure they're people that are powerful. that we interview and show you and put them on display. But today's is about it's about honesty. That's what it's about. Um, and we also, since we're not doing the jokes, we got a little time. The video is 13 minutes. So I wanted to celebrate International Women's Day. We celebrated this last year. I can honestly say I would not be here if it wasn't for a woman. So anyway, I couldn't hold that in. But anyway, I had to stop, But anyway, I wanted to say something else sarcastic, but I'll stop, because nobody can get me because y'all don't know where I am. Victoria is big enough for me to hide. So he said, Mr. Roundtree said, that's your joke for the day. All right, I'll take it. So what we're talking about today is powerful because I believe, golly, top three, maybe the top three one of the top three things that are keeping us from being where we want to be. And that's honesty. And I'm talking about honesty with self. And, we'll use it as a bullet point on some of the things we talk about, but it's such a impactful, change your life, put you on the straight street and put you in the lane. Hey, Karen, it's good to see you. Good to see you, Karen. My dad said her name was Doris Marie Carr. I told you I couldn't be here if it wasn't for a woman. So anyway, but honesty, and I'm talking about honesty with self. And I love when somebody comes along and they just articulate it beautifully. I'm not going to sit there and steal their thunder. I'm going to play it for y'all. That's what I'm going to do. When somebody communicates and articulates the ideas that are in my head, and I've been frustrated and I'm trying to get them out. And I said, why fight the battle of trying to say it like they said it when I can record it? This is 2023. I can record it and play it. Who is that? Is that my Aunt Stephanie? I don't think I've seen that. We got to wipe the dust off her name. She ain't been on here in a while. I'm wiping the dust off your name, Aunt Stephanie. So anyway, when I find somebody that can articulate or say it with such purpose and impact, then we definitely want to play that for you. So it's 13 minutes long. And what really inspired this was I'm waiting for Aunt Stephanie to say something sarcastic. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just keep looking at the bottom of the screen because I know she ain't gonna let that go. But anyway, what really inspired this, I send these quotes out, and we have this wonderful lady that helps us starting to post stuff. We're trying to get things together. She's helping us get things together, and I'll have to give her quotes, right? And I try to be a week and a half ahead so she can get them. I'm trying to get to a month ahead eventually. But I read a quote that really moved me, and it said, "The examined life is painful. The examined life is painful." And man, I mean, it's so true, right? If you stop and really examine your life sometimes, and you make that a habit, it is painful, and it forces you to be honest with yourself. Thus, today is about honesty. So it's 7:09. I'm going to play this. And then I was thinking of different ways to do this, and I wrote my whole plan. And when I start doing this, I just throw the plan out the window. But what does honesty mean to you? That's the question I have for everybody today. Self-honesty. I'm not talking about George Washington and the apple tree. That's for debate. That's up for debate. Some people say it ain't a debate, but I'm talking about self-honesty. What does self-honesty mean to you? And while we're waiting here for some people to type something, and just really want you to think. And then while you're writing or typing what you think honesty means to you, I just want to put some thoughts out there while we watch this video for you to think about. Do you feel like you run, hide, or try to prevent pain? Do you think you do this? You don't have to put it in there, but just something to think about. Tamika said, honesty to me is being totally transparent with yourself. And then, and being true to yourself. And then when does this happen? That's the question I have. When does this happen? Because the way life is, you can just be running every day. When is it that you stop and you really reflect and you find out and think about your situations, your decisions, actions, and you say, you know what, I'm being honest with myself. You know, another question I posed is, why is being honest with yourself so hard? Maybe it ain't hard for you. It's hard for me. Maybe I'm the only one on this call with the issue. I don't know. But sometimes, and I'm going to tell you some of these. This is one of these in front of this camera. You're looking at yourself all the time, kind of messes your head up. But I'm going to share this, and I haven't even told my wife this. I have never told my wife this. So I get a haircut, and I get a haircut at a place that nobody wants me to go because they're efficient, they're fast, and they don't say stuff that irritates me. So I go to this place. It takes them about 10, 15 minutes, and I'm out of there. I don't need nice lines and curves. And the one guy said, "Oh, you want the Steve Harvey cut?" I didn't know what to say. I don't remember what his hair was like. He's bald. I didn't know. I don't go to a place like that. I go to a place where I set an appointment, and they're ready when I get there. I sit down in a chair. I'm there about 10, 12 minutes, and then I'm gone. That's the place I go to. So my dad said, facing the truth is hard, and the truth. So what I don't tell my wife is this. Now she's going to know. So she rolls me around, the lady that cuts my hair, and she makes me look in this mirror. And she doesn't say you got to look in that mirror, but she's cutting my hair, and I'm up here. I either close my eyes, or if my eyes are open, I got to look at myself. And when I look at myself, I think about the mistakes. I think about the pain. I think about the bad decisions. I think of all that stuff. And what I do is I close my eyes because I don't want to see me. There's so much stuff I want to do. There's so much stuff that I want to get done. There's so many things that I want to impact. And when I see it, I'm like, okay, I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of things I got to do. I'm wasting time here. I need to fix that. I need to do this. I need to do that. So I just don't want to be honest sometimes with myself. So I'm going to play this. This gives us 13 minutes. And it's awesome. It's awesome, guys. And I hope you give it a chance. Don't just think, oh, honesty, I got that down. This is a struggle, I believe, for humanity. This is a struggle for humanity. We all lie to ourselves. We don't reflect enough. We're not where we need to be because of that. And this right here is a great person. This person here communicates it greatly. At least you know what your purpose is. Oh, definitely. All right. Here we go, guys. Please don't tune out. Give it a chance. I'm going to play it right now. I got to figure out how to get this on the screen. Here we go.
When I was 9 years old, I went off to summer camp for the first time, and my mother packed me a suitcase full of books, which to me seemed like a perfectly
That's definitely not it. So hang on one second, guys. Bear with me. This is what happens when my wife is not sitting beside me, helping me, or at least there to encourage me. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do this, hopefully all by myself. Hopefully I won't have to call a friend to figure out what I'm doing. Give me 1 second. I'm going to find this, I think. All right. So what I'm going to do is not find it. And we're going to go with my written, because I do not. Hey there, Mother Brenda. And I'm going to save the video for next week. And we're going to go by what I wrote down. So, and just so you know, I had something already prepared. And then when I saw this, I said, man, this is powerful. And it took me in a whole nother direction. And I said, well, okay. Then those of you that are tech people, you can download stuff off of YouTube. And just because of the chaotic nature of my day, I came to the hotel. I'm trying to download it, and I don't even remember how to download. I've done so many downloads. That's one of those kind of days where I can't even remember how to download. So at the end of the day, we're going to go by what is written. So, the thing that I was talking about is that examining life is painful. right? That's what Malcolm X said. Malcolm X said that the examined life is painful. And my question is, what does that mean to you? You know, why do y'all think it's so painful? Do you think it's true? Do you think it's something that is not true? You know, these are questions that just ask yourself while we're talking here. And then I feel like, and it might just be me, maybe it's just my personal issue, but I feel like we as a society need to stop running, hiding, or trying to prevent pain. I believe that everything that goes around us is about trying to prevent pain, whether it's a headache, a backache, a stomach ache, stuff in your head. We're trying to prevent pain. But Malcolm said an examined life is painful. So I feel like we're in a society that we try to prevent pain, and that's why we don't examine our lives like we should. You know, I'm in that Stegan class, and it's a leadership class the company pays for, and it's really good. Very impressed. And one of the things they really want us to do is called weekly focusing. So weekly focusing is where we sit down and we spend an hour and we say, what are we going to do this week? What worked last week and what are we going to do this week? And it's just sits there. You just sit there, you think, you scribble some stuff down, and you give it an hour. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, and my wife probably knows this, but I have never given it an hour. After about 25 minutes, it's like, that's a long time to be sitting there, right? But weekly focusing is a game changer for me because so much can be going on, right? And you're trying to keep up. And if you don't stop for a second and really reflect, you can lose yourself. So I think it's a society just dealing with people day in and day out that we run and hide to prevent pain. And that's a problem. That's a problem because pain is good. Pain can be good. You know, what do we say? No pain, no gain, right? So I'm thinking about things that are painful, but they're good. And the number one thing I can think of is the birth of a child. What is more painful than that? But a child comes first. Shar said prayer time and focus time. A child, a baby comes out of that, which is considered a blessing, right? But it's the most painful thing on earth, right? What else is painful but has benefits? Physical fitness, right? You run, you do your push-ups, you do your sit-ups, you exhaust yourself, you do what we used to do back in the day. We would do push-ups until we couldn't do no more. And then we would do a couple more. And we used to try to do 3 stops where we couldn't do no more. And then you try to do another one. But it was that pain. And then you saw the benefits of that pain. And I remember my wife ain't gonna believe this. I told her the stories. I have to call a friend because that's the only one that knows that this is true. But I used to have these big guns, and they were guns, right? I did not own a shirt like this back then. A shirt that covered up a gun. Every shirt I had was right here because I wanted to show those big guns. My dad probably remembers. I was in California lifting weights, and I had these guns, and you couldn't tell me anything. But it was pain involved. My parents bought me this rowboat. And I had that rowboat, and I would use that rowboat. I would do these exercises with dumbbells and barbells and stuff like that. But it was all painful, but there was fruit and benefit. Another one is intimate relationships. Hell, even the good ones are painful. You know, I'm sure I've caused my wife some pain. She probably said, amen, amen. But intimate relationships are painful. It's all painful. So we shouldn't run from it, right? And I think that is such a tragedy right now in our society, is that we don't want the pain, but we do want the gain. The other thing that's painful is wealth. You just can't get there without sacrifice. You just can't get there without mental obstacles and challenges and keep pushing yourself mentally to get wealth. So there's a lot of things that involve pain. So if we're trying to hide from pain, we got a problem, right? So it's 7:20. Oh my goodness. So the other thing is there's good pain and then there's bad pain, right? But we need pain. So what is the good pain? The good pain is something you should push past to achieve your goal, right? Or what is the bad pain? It's something you should listen to it's something you might want to pay attention to because it might be a sign that you're overdoing it, right? So that would be a bad pain. And the bad pain, maybe the symptoms are a heart attack, or maybe it's a pulled muscle. Maybe there's time where you just snap. You just snap. I've had people around me. We had this one lady, and it's a sad story, but she snapped. And she came to the church butt naked. She just had a mental episode. She snapped. And luckily, back then, but you come through the back way. But she just walked. She didn't even realize what she was doing. Just had a mental snap. And so, I mean, had a cousin, same thing, had a mental snap. Tried to dive into a TV set. So, I mean, at the end of the day, there's bad pain and then there's good pain. One of the things that we would go deeper in, and it's 721, one of the things that we would go deeper in, if this was like an Elevate seminar, we would go deeper in how to fight in dealing with these pains. We would talk about ways to start being honest with yourself. We would talk about what you should focus on to make it through that pain, right? But it's like levels. It's like levels, but the principles are the same. It doesn't matter how much weight you have on you if you know the principles, because you're going to exercise the same principles. And what you have to do is always replay the fact that, okay, when I'm thirsty, I need water. Whether I'm thirsty running a marathon, or whether I'm thirsty walking through a desert, or whether I'm thirsty running a 5K, I still just need to drink water. It's the same principle. It's just that when the weight gets heavier, sometimes it will throw you into a spiral, and you will forget that you need to drink water. And then next thing you know, your life is in a tailspin. But what we try to do in Elevate is we always say, hey, focus on these principles, focus on growth. We know something's going to happen, but if you focus on growth, you'll be more prepared than the person that doesn't. You'll be more impactful. You'll be able to touch a team, touch a community, and be a game changer. So it's 7:23. I wanted to hear some feedback from you guys. When Malcolm X said, "An examined life is painful," what was the first thoughts that came to your mind? The examined life is painful. First, do you agree? Because you don't have to agree with it. I happen to agree with it, but you don't have to agree with it. Maybe you're not that person that gets spent around in the barber's chair, looks in the mirror and just says, you know what, I'm going to close my eyes right now. Maybe you're not that person. Maybe you're like, man, life is a wonderful, Curtis. You got issues. Maybe you're that person. But Shaw, what you doing? She's like, more money, more problems. Biggie Smalls. Okay. All righty then. So Roundtree, the quality of being honest, they spoke with convincing honesty about their fears. The quality of being honest, they spoke with convincing honesty about their fears. True. But for somebody to make such an impactful statement like that, and especially when you look through history, a lot of people have said that too, that basically being honest with yourself is painful, right? And I think about that, and I think about our society when you can't even look at the TV without seeing some drug to try to eradicate pain. You just can't. So we almost think pain is bad. And then if you want to lose weight, I don't have to go through pain. All I got to do is take this pill, and it's going to burn, or fruit. Forget the pill. I just cut it off. I'll cut the fat off and let them take it, because I'm not going through anything like that. So it's the challenge. My challenge is to go through the pain. My challenge to my team is to pay the price, the sacrifice. My challenge to myself is to raise the commitment level, right? Me and Shar was talking about this, and I'm hoping that she was listening. We're going to find out. But I was talking about this really 2 levels of commitment, right? And this, I ended with this because I really wanted to play the video, but that's my issue. I will have it recorded next week, because it goes in a different direction than what I'm talking about when it comes to honesty. But there's really 2 levels of commitment. I always tell people, so think about a breakfast. So when you go to breakfast and you sit there, let's just say that you had eggs and bacon. That was your breakfast. Maybe you had some toast with it and some orange juice. Maybe that was your breakfast. The sacrifice that was made by the chicken is a lot different than the sacrifice that was made by the pig. And this is what I tell my guys. So this is the kind of stuff we usually talk about in Elevate. So if you're looking for something deep and profound, I'm sorry. That ain't what we do. We get people to move. That's what we do. We get people to move. And when we get people to move, we say stuff that makes sense to them. So you're sitting there eating your breakfast. There's eggs on your plate. There's bacon on your plate. And I say, listen, the sacrifice that chicken made was valuable and it was work. But it's a lot different than the sacrifice that pig made, because the pig died to give you bacon. The chicken lived. And when you're in leadership, you die to yourself. It's just no other way, because all the things that you're dealing with, you have to think about, okay, this is the vision, what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish. You become the pig that died. So we have a little saying when I'm working with some of my guys. I say, that's a bacon move. That's a bacon move right there, you know, and they nod their head. And then sometimes they'll come to me and say, bacon, right? So it's just a different mentality. It doesn't devalue what the chicken brought to the table, because I like scrambled eggs. But I do realize that the pig paid a bigger price, right? So, you know, that commitment level, it's like that with everything. If you think about it, you know, when you see somebody that starts a company that's $1 billion company, don't hate. That's a bacon move. That's all. If you see a person that's in the Olympics and doing backflips and all this and gets the gold medal, don't hate. That was a bacon move. They sacrificed. They committed to a whole nother level that we didn't want to, right? When you see somebody that lived in their car and now all of a sudden they have whatever, you know, because a lot of people live in their car nowadays. It's like everybody lived in their car. And now they're multimillionaires worth $250 million or worth $1 billion or whatever. Those are bacon moves. Don't hate. It's just what they are. So at the end of the day, that's what I show my guys, you know, and I try to encourage them. If they want that higher level, then they got to make bacon moves. If you want scrambled eggs, then keep doing what you're doing. As simple as that. So if you can comment, 728, are y'all bacon people or egg people? Ain't no reason, nothing wrong with either one of them. Shar, are you bacon or eggs? I need to know. I guess I should have. I know Shar paid attention. That's a pay attention question to see if she's still trying to make cookies while I'm talking or something, make cupcakes or whatever. Dealing with Kai. Shar, are you bacon or are you eggs? Let's see if she. Mother Brenda said that's deep. Bacon. She said she bacon. All right. She said hi. That means she wasn't paying attention, y'all. We busted her. Right there. Shar, are you bacon or are you eggs? Tamika said, I'm bacon. Impact Texas said she bacon. Shar's still trying to catch up. Bacon, no and eggs. Ed's always going to have a witty response. Ed's going to always have a witty response. She says 2 slices. So anyway, next week, I promise you, I will remember how to do what I've been doing for a year. I'm going to figure it out. And my dad said bacon. I'm going to remember what I've been doing for a year. And then we'll show you that recording, because I tell you, it's priceless. It's really priceless. I really thank you guys for coming on today. Elevate. A lot of work is going into it, and hopefully it makes an impact. We got some things behind the scenes that we're working on, and I can't wait to share with you guys here soon. But like we always say, I don't know what all this stuff coming on my screen. It's funny. Now my downloads show up. I could play the video for you now, but I'll wait till next week. But thank you, Ann. Looking forward to next week. It's always great to have you guys on. We try to end with a saying that says, be intentional, focus on growth, and elevate now. Thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate you.